Crystal Palace, the Eagles may have just found their new #1 goalkeeper for next year with the signing of Sam Johnstone, who will be signing on a free contract as his contract is running down with West Brom and Albion. He is joining Crystal Palace on a 4-year deal. Either way you guys look at this is a perfect deal and a fantastic piece of business from the Eagles. Crystal Palace is a brilliant deal, a brilliant move and transfer. But you also have a huge situation here because you have Jack Butland, who's still at Crystal Palace, as well as Vicente Guaita, who has been truly fantastic for Crystal Palace, the Eagles, in the past couple of seasons, single-handedly winning them games and earning them huge points to get them over the line. Vicente Guaita has been fantastic. You still have Jack Butland at the club, and you're adding in a Sam Johnstone, who has had a very good year with West Brom and Baggies in the Championship, where they did finish 10th. And Sam Johnstone is a very good goalkeeper. This is a guy who is 29 years old, is hitting his prime, and is doing fantastically well. He was rumored with the likes of Manchester United and the likes of Tottenham Hotspur to come in as a backup for the likes of Hugo Lloris and David De Gea. That shows you his quality. But he has taken a U-turn and joined Crystal Palace, and this is a brilliant deal. And Patrick Vieira has a huge headache here on his hands of who's going to be the #1 next year. For me, Jack Butland is by far the number 3 here and might find himself a move out of the club with the likes of Sam Johnstone coming to Crystal Palace. But this is a huge headache for Patrick Vieira with the likes of Guaita and Johnstone because these guys could easily be a starter for any club. Really probably bottom half. I don't know where you'd really place him because Guaita has been fantastic, and you also have Sam Johnstone here as well. These are average goalkeepers for me in the Premier League. I think they're very good. Sam Johnstone has a tremendous future, I do believe, still in the Premier League as he's still only 29, and we do all know that goalkeepers age like fine wine. And this is going to be a very interesting deal. And like I said, a headache for Patrick Vieira. Because who do you start? Do you start a Sam Johnstone who's had a very good year in the Championship with West Brom, but he's been highly rated to go to a top club and has joined Crystal Palace, a guy who's an England international, has been very fantastic and is a true professional? Or do you go with a tried, true, and trusted in Vicente Guaita, a 35-year-old who has been brilliant for Crystal Palace, and I have watched him so many times this past year, and I think he's been quality, single-handedly winning them games, earning them points, and really he hasn't put a foot wrong. I believe Vicente Guaita has some crazy stats out there, but he is also a quality goalkeeper. And thing is, of course, you can also have the situation if I will go and play in devil's advocate here to this transfer in just a second, but I got to talk about who I think will be the #1 next year. For me, my #1 for Crystal Palace would be Sam Johnstone for multiple reasons. He is 6 years younger than Vicente Guaita. He is 29 years of age compared to the 35-year-old Guaita. Sam Johnstone is coming off a tremendous year, and his distribution, long range, and by hitting his wide men is truly brilliant. And when you're going to have the likes of Eze playing at central attacking midfield, you're going to have the likes of Michael Elise, Wilfred Zaha at wide, and Hudson Edouard up top. You have fast, pacey, skillful, and exciting wingers and attacking midfielders and strikers. And when you have the distribution of a Sam Johnstone who can easily ping it out and hit those guys quickly and hit them on a counterattack and get this team going, they are tremendous and deadly encounters, which we've seen so much this past year under Patrick Vieira. That is another huge reason why I believe Sam Johnstone should be the starter. Is his distribution, his quality, and just what he brings. Of course, that English quota is obviously huge to any Premier League side, and that's what he does bring in. He's obviously an English international as well, and signing him on a 4-year deal shows that Crystal Palace Eagles really do back him and do believe he will be the starter eventually. Maybe not this year, maybe Guaita will still be. Maybe they'll split times, but he is there for the future and foreseeable future, and it is a huge move. Like I said, this is a brilliant deal either way you look at it. You're signing a England international who's had a very good year, who's valued at like 15 million on transfer market for a 4-year contract. It's a beautiful deal for Crystal Palace, but on the other hand, you have Vicente Guaita, who I'm going to break into in a second, but I believe Sam Johnstone should be the starter for Crystal Palace. Let me lay it out there. But you could easily play devil's advocate here with Vicente Guaita. I know a lot of Crystal Palace fans are going to stand by Guaita because of what he's done for them the past couple of seasons. Single-handedly winning them games, carrying them over the line, making beautiful saves to the eye, and has been fantastic servant to the club. By saying servant to the club, I'm not saying he's done with the club, so don't jump on me there, guys. I believe Vicente Guaita has been a brilliant professional and a quality player for Crystal Palace. But the age of 35, you gotta get ready to move on, or know your time's gonna be up at a club. You're not there's not a Ben Foster out there every day. Fozzie doesn't come along every day, and Vicente Guaita for me, maybe he could be a starter next year, but I think he'd be a quality backup for Crystal Palace because this is a situation where you got two arguably number ones in a club. And I could go as a United fan and play devil's advocate here for Crystal Palace, as you could have a Dean Henderson, David De Gea situation, where you don't want to be a number one, or where you're looking at your shoulder every week and saying, well, if I make a mistake, if I make a slip up here, am I going to be on the bench? Am I going to be behind this guy? Am I going to be finding my place on the bench for quite a while? That's the thing that goalkeepers don't want to have, especially number ones. I remember Ben Foster coming out in the Fallscast saying that you don't want a number one goalkeeper looking over his shoulder, thinking there's a mistake going to happen and he's going to be back on the bench. He wants to feel reassured. He wants to know it's his position and that he's going to feel trusted. And that's going to be also interesting here. Yes, it's just devil's advocate. Either way, I do believe this is a perfect transfer. That's just another way this could be spent. But this is a brilliant deal for Patrick Vieira. You saw what he did last summer with the likes of so many quality players. Conor Gallagher, the likes of Mark Guy, the likes of Anderson. So many quality deals, especially Michael Olise. And he's doing it once again, especially what I love to see, bringing in English players as well. Sam Johnstone is a 29-year-old English goalkeeper. Of course, like I said, helps that English quota massively, but also is a good quality player. You don't want to just bring in those English quota players just to fill in a spot, just to be there on the roster. You want a player who's going to be in there, ready to play, and is going to be a huge contributor. And Sam Johnstone, for me, can easily walk into the side. I think he could walk into that number one role and could take it with the palm of his fist, because I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper, and that is why I believe Sam Johnstone should be the number one goalkeeper for Crystal Palace next year, just because of the sheer quality he brings. Number one thing I think he really will bring to Crystal Palace is his distribution. Like I said, guys, transition is huge, and when Crystal Palace hits team with a transition with those skillful attacking young wingers and the pace, it is deadly to watch, and it's so fun. And the Sam Johnston's distribution is how quick he gets it out there and how accurate he is going to be massive. The likes of Wilfred Zaha's attack and let Michael Olise, it is going to be huge to this side's attack. But like I said, guys, to wrap things up here, Sam Johnstone has signed a 4-year deal on a free contract with Crystal Palace, and a perfect deal for the Eagles. This is a huge deal, but does throw in a spanner into the works and a dilemma around the number one goalkeeper situation for Crystal Palace. Will it be Jack Butland? Will it be Vicente Guaita? Or will it be newly signed and acquired Sam Johnstone? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Make sure to hit the sub button, guys. We're doing all the best Premier League content in the channel. We're giving you guys more in-depth videos. We're talking about all the transfers. There's going to be a new series coming out. We're doing a Premier League based channel, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Make sure to drop a sub, hit the like button, and drop a comment. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.